Hello, this is Mr. Z. We will have a chance to go over different exercise. Basically, what happened here is we will invest time to try to find infusion rate. But let me give you a quick recap because we're gonna take you back to the beginning. All right. So, do you remember? I want how we can focus here. So, pay close attention. Do you remember what we learned way back? The dosage calculation people can use different ways, either dimension analysis or formula proportion to solve this question. So, for those that use formula to solve this question, something to remember that you learn that your dosage, okay, was what? It's desire or what the doctor ordered over have or available, then you multiply that by quantity. So one thing we know that available and quantity goes together. This is what we call concentration. All right. Your quantity always gonna be a liquid if you're dealing with a liquid medication. So if you read this medication, you will find out that the question is how many milliliter. So anytime they ask you a question, how many milliliter, you just know that you're dealing with a liquid medication. Your quantity is gonna be whatever go with the ml. In this case, the quantity will be one. So what is side by side with milliliter? This is what you have available. We call that available. All right, we're gonna use that as your available right there. And milliliter right there, whatever, in this case, per ml mean what? 1 milliliter, okay? One. Per 5 ml, the quantity will be 5. Per ml, the quantity is 1. So that will be, my dear friend, your quantity. So this 0.8 milligram is what the doctor ordered. So before you do anything, you will make sure because you have a milligram and here you got microgram, you have to make sure that your order and your available belong to the same family. Remember that? Great. All right. So in this case, because I got 400 microgram, I can choose either to bring microgram back to milligram by dividing that by 1,000, or I can bring milligram to microgram directly by multiply that by 1,000. So when I do that, I will have now, I will have a 100 microgram. So before you apply your dosage calculation, you have to make sure that your order and your available has the same unit. So once you do that, and you know I can apply now my dosage, it will be what order, which is 800 microgram, divided by available, which is what 400 microgram, time quantity, which is 1 milliliter. So once you do that 800 divided by 400, it will give you 2. 2 times 1, the answer here, it will be 2 milliliter. So there is a reason why I decided to give you a quick review on this. Now, once we deal with infusion rate, I want you to see the difference. There are some questions that have infusion rate, asking for infusion rate. We will use this same formula right here to solve this question. Remember here, they are asking for milliliter. Over there, they are asking not only for milliliter, they are asking for milliliter per hour. So anytime in any problem, if you do not have a time, just know Well, if they're asking you for milliliter per hours, just know that you're gonna use dosage calculation. So I'm gonna make that easier for you. Just remember, if the question is asking you to find the milliliter per hours, did you hear me? Milliliter per hours. If the question asks you to find milliliter per hour, just know you will look for your dosage. Dosage equal what? Order, available, time, quantity. But if the question is not asking milliliter per hours, the question is asking something else. But part of the problem, they give you milliliter per hour as a data. You have available in a quantity. Most likely, you will look for your order. Your order is gonna be what? Dosage, all right? Because dosage is gonna be milliliter per hours. Divide now by quantity and you multiply that by available. So I say this, anytime you are looking milliliter per hours, you are looking for dosage, order, available, quantity. But if not, you're gonna look for your order. Let me go here, give you an example. Let's see. You see in this question, they give you milliliter per hours. They give you available and quantity. Just know you will look in those questions your order. Correct? All right, so let's go back here. Now, let's erase those stuff so it can make sense. Do you remember here? The answer was what? 2 milliliter, right? So now look at here. Anytime you are looking for milliliter per hours, remember, if you have to use dosage calculation, two things gonna happen. Number one, you have to identify your available and quantity. Whatever remain in that problem, number two is gonna be your order. Remember, once you are looking for milliliter per hours, you are looking for your dosage. All right. So to make it easier on some of you, so you see right here, I got milligram and I got milliliter. Because I'm looking for milliliter per hours and I do not have a timer, it means what? I am looking for milliliter per hours, but I'm gonna use a dosage calculation. So I'm gonna give you two tips. The first one, if you know 25 milligram and 250 is your available and quantity, this one here, 15 microgram per minute is gonna be your order. So first thing, anytime your order is per minute, hear me well. Please take a note. Just please take a note, my friend. I am feeling the anointing of breaking this concept in the way, even if a fifth grader can understand that. So, tip number one, anytime you are looking for milliliter per hours, if you cannot do volume over time, it means you will refer to dosage calculation. Now, if you know dosage calculation is what? Order divided by available time quantity. One thing that I have told you, that your available and quantity always goes together. Look at here, you see? Your available, all right? Your available here, my friend, always goes together. So in this case, the doctor prescribed a nitroglycerin for someone that have a unstable angina. But look at, because we are looking milliliter per hours, and I cannot do volume over time, you will use dosage calculation. All right. So identify your available 25 milligram and 250. That's your quantity. Because you will use dosage calculation. If your order is per minute, what the only thing I want you to do at this time, remember, we will use that minute at the end. Get rid of it. Delete that. You see? Just delete that minute. But remember, because you have deleted that minute, we will solve this as a simple dosage calculation. But at the end, you have to multiply that by 60. I'll say again. If this, after you identify your available and quantity, right there, all right, you identify them, your available and quantity. You see that? That means whatever remained there, it can only be your order. Does it make sense? Now, if your order is per hours, if your order is per hours, except milliliter per hours, because milliliter per hours will be your dosage. Because in this formula you need the three data: dosage, order, and available. Milliliter per hour will take a place of your order. No, milliliter per hour is always dosage. So once you're looking for milliliter per hour, you are looking for your dosage. Do you remember the way we solved this here at the bottom? Yes. So this, if your order is per hours, delete the hours, solve that as a simple dosage calculation, but do not multiply that by 60. But if your order is per minute, delete that. Delete, just make sure your order is per minute. All right? Delete that minute and multiply your order, your final answer by 60. I want you to make sure that your order is per minute. Does it make sense? That's what I want you to do. If you have an order like this, 10 milligram over 5 minutes, divide the 10 by 5. So you have 2. In that way, your order go down to 2 milligram per minute. To solve this situation, the easy way, I want to make sure your order is expressed per minute, not 2 minutes to 3 minutes. If it's per minute, per 4 minutes, divide the top by that number so you can express your order per minute. So now let's get into it. So what we're going to do to solve this, step number 1, because my order is per minute, it means I will multiply my final answer by 60. The first time I'm going to delete this because I don't want it to make me confused. I delete that. All right. So what do I have now? You see, I have now my order. It's 15 microgram. You see that? My available is 25 milligram. And my quantity is 250 milliliter. Same thing it happened here. Because I got microgram, I got milligram, I have to decide to bring something so it can match. So I can bring this available to microgram. It become 25,000. So now you can see you do that as a simple dosage calculation. You do 15, that is your order, correct? Divide that by 25,000, multiply that by 250. But do not forget, this we say we will multiply our final answer by 60 because of that minute right there. Don't forget that one. I want to make that very easy. We just hide the minute, but we're going to use that at the end. So let's get into it. So now, what you have to do, I'm going to do, get your calculator. You see, 15 divided that by 25,000. All right. Then I multiply that by 250. I have here, I have what? I have a 0.5. But don't stop there. Remember, we say your final answer, you multiply that by 60. And once you do, your answer right there is 9 milliliter per hour. This is that that's the correct answer right there. Boom. You see how I make that easier? Okay, let's look at another one. All right. Do you now this one here? We're gonna do the same concept. All right. We're gonna hide the minute. Don't forget. But mean what? We will multiply by 60 at the end. So your order is right now. Your order is a 4 microgram per kilogram. You know for sure. Anytime your order is per kilogram, you have to multiply that by the weight in kilogram. Your available is right there. 50 and 250. You see? Your available it's 50 milligram slash 250 ml. So what do you know? Because I got microgram here, I gotta make sure that I take that to microgram as well. So it become what? 50,000 microgram to 50 ml. So I need right now to multiply my order by the weight. What is the weight? So your order now, I'm gonna have a 4 times the weight, because you know 4 microgram per kilogram mean for each kilogram we give 4 microgram. You have to know the weight so you can know what is the value, what is the dosage this person gonna have. So I multiply that one by 70. When I do now, my new order is 280. Remember, at the end, we will multiply this by 60. We just remove that minute so we can make it easier for us to understand. All right? So now we're going to do 280, that is your new order, divide by 50,000. Why 50,000? Because we have to make sure your order and available has the same unit. I got microgram. Then I multiply that by 250. Don't forget you have to multiply your final answer by 60. So now I got 280 divided by 50,000. All right. Then I'm going to multiply that by 250. When I do multiply by 250, I have 1.4. If you stop here, you get 0. Because you will stop per minute. So I got to multiply this by 60. Multiply this by 60. Now you have 84. You see how I make that easier? There you go. So let's see if there is another one. This is something to deal with order. This is you're looking for your order. There you're looking for your order. We'll go back there in a few seconds. All right. Let's see if we can have another exercise here. All right. So you see, let's deal that again. I want you to do that now. Go where the hide this minute. We're going to use that at the end. So now once you do, you see you have only 15 microgram. And you know your available goes together 25 milligram slash 250 ml. You see that? So you gotta make sure, because you got microgram there, you got milligram, I gotta make sure it does match. So here I have now 25,000 microgram slash 250 ml. But remember, we just hide minute. If it was per hours, we will now gonna multiply by 60. We're just gonna hide it so we can make that as a simple. At the end, we will or put it back if they ask us to use the unit. You see, I hide it because minute. At the end, you multiply by 60. You see that? So now you will have 15 microgram divided by, I just want to make that easier for you, for 25,000 and times 250. Just don't forget to multiply here by 60. All right? Don't forget that, my friend. If you forget, you get 0. So 15 divided by 25,000. All right? And then times 250. But don't forget, now you multiply that by 60. Now my answer is 9 milliliter per hour. You see that? It's right there. You see how easy it is? All right. Let's go check if we have another one. All right. So let's see. Same concept. We will go ahead and hide this minute. We will multiply at the end by 60. So now your thing become what? It become 15 microgram. You see that? That is your order. Your available always goes side by side. 25 milligram slash 250 ml. You see that? Great. So that means what? I gotta make sure my order and my variable match. I'm gonna push this to microgram, so it become 25,000 microgram slash 250 ml. Remember, we hide this minute, but we're going to use that at the end. We just take that minute, so your problem look like a simple doses calculation. I don't know what is happening with students. Anytime they throw some minutes, they throw some hours, it takes them to a different world. Yeah, but I don't want you to get confused. That's why we make that easier. Just write this minute. At the end, multiply that by 60. It's something that you can remember. So now, it's a simple dosage. So now I got 15. That's my order or my desire. Divide by available or have, which is 25,000. And then multiply that by 250. But don't forget, you gotta multiply your final answer by, so I go do 15 divide by 25,000 times 250, and now multiply that by 60. So I got 9. You see that? All right. So now, in this question, we all has been spending time dealing with your dosage, looking for milliliter per hour. Remember what I shared with you in the beginning. If in the problem they are asking you something that is not milliliter per hours, just know in this case you're going to look for your order. Did you see that? You see, the problem they give you milliliter per hours. That milliliter per hours not is going to be your order. No. In terms of your formula, it's always going to be your dosage. You cannot substitute milliliter per hour in the place of order. No. Okay? So, you know, right? This is what we are looking. You know, your dosage they give to you is 20 milliliter per hour. Your available always goes together. Your available is 400 milligram. And your quantity is 250 milliliter. Okay? All right. So what you have to know, look at. Do you see? What are you looking? You are looking at microgram. You see that? You're looking at microgram per kilogram per minute. It means what? That you are looking for your order. Now, because you are looking at microgram per kilogram per minute, your order is written like this. This is how you know your order. Your order equal your dosage, multiply that by available, divide that by quantity. You gotta make a big difference. Your order equal dosage. Okay? But remember, if you check, because you are looking microgram per kilogram per minute, I want to make that easier for you to understand. Get your dosage. What is that? It's 20. All right? Multiply by available. All right? But be careful. Your available is what? Milligram. But you are looking in microgram. So you know microgram gonna come from this milligram. Push directly your available to microgram. You agree? So it become 400,000 microgram. Because that's where the microgram is gonna come from. So now I'm gonna do my dosage. Let's bring that down so you can see. I'm gonna do my dosage, which is and your minute is coming in from milliliter per hours. Does it make sense? That's where your minute is coming, 20 milliliter per hours. Your minute, if we were looking at microgram per kilogram per hours, we're just gonna do 20 times 400 divided by 250. My answer I divide by the weight. But because I'm looking per minute, I'm going to get this one here, my dosage. I'm going to divide that by 60. You see? My dosage right there. I'm going to do 20 because you are looking in microgram per minute. And the minute is going to come from the hours. So I'm going to have to do 20 divided by 60. Why? Because I am looking a minute. All right. So from that point now, what you have to do, I'm going to get my dosage. I do 20 divided by, you're going to get a 20 divided by 60. You see that? I do 20 divided by 60. That's your dosage right there. Multiply by your available. Your available is what? It's 400,000. All right. Now, my answer that I'm going to get, I will divide that by quantity, and your quantity is 250. All right? Now, why did we divide this by 60? It's simple. Because we are looking microgram per minute, per kilogram per minute. I'm going to turn hour to minute. It becomes 20 milliliter per 60. It's right there. My available is milligram, but I'm looking at microgram. I go ahead, I push that to microgram. All right? So by doing like that, now I'm going to have a 20 divided by 60. I'm not going to round at that level. I have a 0.33333. That is my dosage. Now I'm going to multiply that by my available, which is 400,000. And now I'm going to divide that by my quantity. Why did I divide that my quantity 250? My dear friend, it's simple because of the order equal dosage time available divided by quantity. Okay? So you do 20 divided by 60. Then I multiply that by my available, which is 400,000. And then I divide that by quantity with 250. So now your answer that you get at the end, you're gonna go ahead divide that by the weight in a kilogram. You see the weight in a kilogram? So it's right there, 75. Now get your answer, divide that by 75. By doing like that, I have a 7.1. If they ask you to round that, in this case, like they say, round all your final answer to the nearest whole number, your answer is going to be 7 microgram per kilogram per minute. Okay? Now, let me show you the other way around. Let's see, clean this one here. We gotta make sure that you do understand. You know, I am looking for microgram per kilogram per minute. You know for sure you're looking for your your order. You know your order equal dosage, time available divided by quantity. Okay? If you don't want to divide that right there, you can just go ahead, make sure you write everything. You know your dosage equal milliliter per hour. Never try to call milliliter per hour. That is your order. Look at the mistake a lot of people they will do. They will solve this as a dosage and they will call 20 milliliter per hours divide by 400 milligram. You see, it does not make sense. And multiply by 250 milliliter. You cannot have a milliliter and a milliliter on the same line. No. You see? So you can never set up this thing that way. You will be wrong, my friend. Wrong. You're looking for your order. Your order equal dosage, available, and quantity. Just remember that your dosage always gonna be milliliter per hours for the infusion rate. For regular medication, simple one, your dosage is gonna be milliliter or tablet. But once you deal with your infusion rate, milliliter per hour, when you're using your formula, your milliliter per hour is your dosage. So in this case, I know that dosage, it will be what? 20 milliliter per hour. Your available, it's 400 milligram. But because we're looking for microgram, I have to push that directly to microgram. It becomes 400 and 1000 microgram. Your quantity is right there, 250. So what you have to do, I set up the other way around. I'm gonna do my dosage. You see that? And you multiply that by your available, and then wherever you get, you divide that by quantity. Now, because you had the minute, you have hours, you're looking for a minute, the answer that you get, you divide that by 60. If you were looking at microgram per minute, I'm gonna stop here. But because I'm looking microgram per minute per kilogram, I will have to divide my final answer by the weight in kilogram. So in that case, I'm gonna have my dosage, which is 20. I multiply that. You see that dosage time available, I multiply that by 400,000. The answer that I'm gonna get there, I'm gonna divide that by quantity. So which one is your quantity? And 250. Because it was per hours, I was looking per minute. The answer that I'm gonna get after I divide, I will go where the divide that by 60. If I was looking at microgram per minute, I will stop here after divide by 60. But because I'm looking microgram per kilogram per minute, I have to divide that by the weight in kilogram, which is 75. So get your calculator, you go ahead and then you do 20 times 400,000. Bim, you got 1,000,000. So you divide that by quantity, which to 50. All right. Then you got 32,000. Now I divided that by 60. Then I got 533.333. Now I'm gonna divide that by my weight, which is 75. All right. So what is your weight on that one? Let's see. So don't forget, my dear friend. So don't forget to get your dosage right there, which is 20. All right. You multiply that by 400, by because it gotta be 1,000. All right. So now you divide that by your quantity, then you divide that by your thing and divide that by 75, which is give you 7.11, and it's still the same answer right there. Does it make sense? All right. So it is way how you can solve, but you just have to remember here, anytime that you are looking for milliliter per hour, just know that you are looking for your dosage. If you're looking for microgram per hour, microgram per minute, milligram per hour, those stuff you're looking for your odd. The last thing, the last way, the last approach, different method you can do that. Anytime you're looking something per kilogram per minute, if you want it, go right from here. If you want it, just get your dosage right there. All right. If you want to memorize a formula to make that easier, it means what? If you are looking to solve microgram, if you are looking microgram per kilogram per minute, all right, this can be gram per kilogram per minute unit. So the only thing you have to do, I can set up the way for you. I'm gonna call dosage, multiply that by available, but the available gotta be in microgram. Now I'm gonna get here 60 multiply by the weight in kilogram, then multiply by quantity. That's it. If you are looking for microgram per kilogram per minute from milliliter per hours, I give you now the summary for everything. For those people that are young, they want to memorize, you're gonna do dosage multiply by available. At the bottom, you have to do 60 multiplied by the weight multiplied by quantity. Now you're gonna get to the product of dosage time available divided by the product of 60, the weight and quantity. Let's show that the easy way. You see, microgram per kilogram per minute. If I was looking milligram, I just gonna make sure that my available it's in a milligram. If I was looking unit, I'll make sure my available is stay in the unit. If I was looking, let's say, gram per kilogram per minute, I just gonna make sure that my available is in the gram. In this case, I'm looking for microgram per kilogram per minute. I just wanna make sure that my available is in the microgram. So in this case, because I'm looking at microgram, I have to make sure my available it's in a microgram. You see that? All right. What is my dosage? My dosage is 20. Multiply by my available. But my available it gotta be in the microgram because we're looking for microgram. So I gotta multiply that by 400,000. You see? I'm following that formula. Now I divide by 60, always gonna be at the bottom. Multiply by the weight in the kilogram, and the weight is 75. And multiply by quantity, which is 250. Okay, so now we're gonna do 20 times 400. 20 times 400,000. So you got a million. You see that? I got a million. So now I'll do 60 times the weight in the kilogram times 250. Now I got 1,125,000. So now I'm gonna do the division from a million, divide that by 1,125,000. 125,000. See, by doing it like that, I have a 7.1. Round to the nearest whole number, erase a 7. All right. So I hope you enjoy the time we spent together. Now go get some water. Oh, oh. If you have to drink wine, you don't complain. If you have to drink coffee, you don't complain. Now you gotta go drink water, you complain. Ah, papa, just go get some water. Yeah. All right. It was a pleasure as well as always. If you enjoy, please invite your friend. Let learn together. Okay. God bless you. I hope this was helpful, and make sure that you invite your friend to learn with you. God bless you. I'll see you later. Bye bye.